Problem 51. There's the problem. Just to remind you, whenever we are looking for a variable in an exponent, we need to get it down to the form of a base raised to a power equals a value. And then from there we proceed by taking the log of both sides, using the power property, and solving. So step one is to get in this form. Well, I have two 4's right now, but the properties of exponents allow me to add exponents when I'm multiplying the same base. So that's what I'll do. So this reduces down to, I'll add 3p plus 2p, which makes 5p, minus 1 equals 100. Now, what I'm actually going to do is the minus 1 means to divide by 4. And so I'm going to kind of use the property of exponents in reverse here. So this is the same thing as having 4 to the 5p divided by 4 to the 1 equals 100. Notice that when we're dividing, we would subtract the exponents. Well, now I can get rid of the 4 by applying the inverse operation. The inverse operation to divide is times. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 4. These cancel, leaving me 4 to the 5p equals 400. Now I'm in that format right there. So I can take the log of both sides, and I'm going to apply the power property for logarithms as well. And that will give me 5p times the log of 4 equals the log of 400. Again, I took the log of both sides, which would have had the 5p up here, and then the power property allows me to make it into a multiplication problem. Divide by, now we're solving for p, we would divide by log of 4, and then we would divide by 5. Those are the inverse operations. So I would divide by the log 4, that's the inverse operation to multiplication. And since I'm multiplying by 5, I can divide both sides by 5, which simply puts that on the denominator. So p is equal to that. Get our calculator. P is equal to log 400 divided by, now we would need the whole denominator in parentheses, so I'm going to put everything in parentheses. I'll actually put the beginning and end there. It looks like it might erase that. Yes, it did. So I'll remember that. Times log of 4. I need an in parentheses for the log 4 and an in parentheses for the parentheses that's in front of the 5. And that gives me that value. We're told to round to the 4th decimal place, so p would be equal to 0.864. The 3 becomes a 4 because of the 8 to the right of it. So 0.8644. There you have problem 51. I hope that helps.